What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Post-Gazette Pirates YouTube channel and podcast network. Noah Hiles coming to you on a Monday here in late July. Trade season is heating up. We're going to talk about some trade rumors pertaining to the Pittsburgh Pirates on this video/podcast. Before we get into it, though, I want to remind everyone to check out all of our work at post-gazette.com. Get yourself a digital subscription if you don't have one already, and check out the print product. We print the Post-Gazette on Thursdays and Sundays. So be sure to scoop those up and check us out on all the days at post-gazette.com. All right, so trade season is heating up, I should say. We're in the final 10-day stretch. It's July 21st. The deadline expires at 6 p.m. on the 31st of July. And the Pirates find themselves right dead smack in the middle of a lot of trade speculation. It's a seller's market. The Pirates are one of the few clear sellers at this year's deadline, and they have the most to offer. So what am I hearing? What are we hearing at the Post-Gazette? I'll give you some insight on a couple of different topics. We'll start off with something that has been floated around. First things first, to my understanding, I'm recording this at 1:15 p.m. Monday afternoon. Ben Cherington is still the general manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. That was a rumor that was floated out on social media. I hadn't heard anything that would confirm that report. I know there, rumors go wild on social media, but to my understanding, Ben Cherington is still the Pirates general manager, and I intend that to be the case through the next 10 days. He's going to be their general manager, making all of these moves heading up through the deadline. So how much power does Ben have? I think that's a topic we can hit on real quick. Do I think that Ben has to maybe be a little cautious? Is he worried about his job? Absolutely. Now, you can look at that one of two ways. You could look at that as a guy who might be willing to take a bigger swing to try to right the ship and save himself, or a guy who might be a little scared and doesn't want to rock the boat and make things worse and solidify his dismissal. Does he have the freedom to make big moves? I do think there is a part of Bob Nutting that is skeptical of what has all unfolded under Cherington and his time here, and maybe there is a divide of trust. But I do think at the end of the day, Ben does have the power to still make these moves. I don't think Nutting loves the idea of Mitch Keller just being one example, being traded away, or David Bednar or Dennis Santana, these guys. But if Ben can go into his office and show, hey, this is a really good deal, Nutting can be convinced. If Ben can do a good enough job showing that the return they've been offered for a Mitch Keller or a David Bednar or someone along those lines can make the team better in 2026, I do think that deal can get done. So is there a little bit of, some hesitancy maybe by Nutting to let a guy like Mitch Keller be traded by Cherington this deadline season? Absolutely. But is that going to stop the move from getting done? I don't think so. I think if they can get a return that Cherington can easily convince Nutting, hey, this makes us better for 2026, then that move will get done. And I think that right now they're in a spot with Keller where they can get that return. If played correctly, Keller's going to be the highest rated pitching asset on the trade market. In these last 10 days, I don't know if you can get a more valuable starter than Mitch Keller. Now, are teams willing to pay for it? We'll see. Because Mitch isn't just a rental. This is a long-term investment for teams. And the salary isn't a huge deal. But what are you willing to give up for a guy who can help you for your next 4 playoff runs? That's what you're looking at when you acquire him. You're getting a guy that's going to be in your starting rotation for that time. And he doesn't really get hurt. He goes deep into ball games. He's not an ace, but he is a reliable big league starter, middle of the rotation guy. So I do see a market heating up for Mitch Keller. I've reported previously that the Cubs and the Mets were interested in him. I reported last week that the Yankees are now in on him. Some updates on that. It seems like the Yankees are really gaining steam on Keller. I don't know if I would put them in the driver's seat, the front runner, if you will. But it seems like they're there is more smoke connecting to the Yankees. I still think the Mets are interested. As I previously reported, I've heard that Keller isn't the Cubs' first option, which tells me they're just more looking to add a rental starting pitcher rather than a long-term option. So that's all I'm hearing. I'm also hearing another American League team. I'm still working to confirm that. I'll be writing trade explanation, like another insider column that I did a couple weeks, similar to what I did a couple weeks ago. I'll have one of those out midweek this week. So keep an eye out on that. Hopefully I'll have that new team confirmed. I'm hearing rumblings about who it might be, but I'm not ready to throw that name out there just yet. I just want to get a little bit more intel on it. So, but I know right now Yankees are gaining steam. Mets are still very interested. Cubs are still interested, but he's not their first option. And another team seems to be interested as well. Just want to make sure I get that one right before I throw it out there. So what exactly can you get for Mitch Keller? I don't know. Like I said, I think he's the highest rated trade asset as far as a pitcher is concerned available at this year's deadline. And if a team is looking to bring on a player who can not only help them this year, but years down the road, I think it makes a lot of sense for them to pay a high price for him. And I think another way you could get additional value for Keller, and this is a conversation I've had with some sources, is I think there's a chance that Keller is a part of a package deal, that you could pair Keller with a couple of other guys who are likely going to be moved this deadline here on the Pirates to ensure that you get a larger return. You could pair him with Ke'Bryan Hayes, and for no other reason that I've been told by multiple sources that the Pirates are looking to get rid of Ke'Bryan Hayes. They want that contract off the books. So, I mean, they're not necessarily thinking about like cutting him or anything, but if they can get his salary off the books, they're going to make a move that will allow that to happen. Obviously, it's got to come at the right price, but packaging him with Keller might make that a more realistic possibility. You could also package him with some rentals. Guys like Caleb Ferguson, guys like Tommy Pham, or even like IKF. That could sweeten the pot to get you maybe another good hitting prospect as opposed to one elite top 100 guy or a big league ready bat or a proven young hitter. Maybe you could get a little bit more if you package some of their rental players along with Keller, maybe an Andrew Heaney along with them too. Who knows? But that seems to be a thought that I've heard from multiple conversations I've had, that Keller could be a guy that packaged with a rental or even a Ke'Bryan Hayes, or a reliever like Bednar and Santana, who have an extra year of control, that could allow the Pirates to get even more for him, and that might end up being how they get their desired package for Mitch Keller, is pairing him with some of their other assets to get a team to potentially overpay. So that's all we'll talk about right now. We covered Keller. We covered some rentals. I gave you a little tidbit there on Ke'Bryan Hayes, and some general and some GMBC talk. I'm going to keep hitting the phones, talking to some sources. We're going to see what we can learn in these next couple of days. Keep an eye out for a story that I'll have running midweek again with more trade information pertaining to the Pirates, who's going where, who's interested in whom. I'll have it all at post-gazette.com. I'm Noah Hiles. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and keep reading everything again at post-gazette.com.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.